Hey, what it do with the business is.
It is another week in the books with the On Deck TV show. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal underscore Brown if you're looking for me on socials.
Absolutely, and I am Spike Lou on them same social sites. Holla at your boy. AB, how you feeling out there?
Feeling good, feeling great. No travel stories this weekend. I sat my ass down this weekend and I was glad to do so.
I traveled. I got to go down to Nashville, man.
Nice.
Cool. Get to hang out with Mom Dukes and the fam for Mother's Day. Had
Absolutely.
a ball. Kicked it over her house. Ate good. Laughed with the family. Told stories and shit. That'd be the best shit at
Facts.
this point in life, man. Just being able to do that. So, man, I really appreciated that. Got to chill with aunties and cousins and Mom Dukes and all people too. So
Yes, sir.
that's fun, man. It was refreshing as hell.
100%, man. Triple salute to any mothers out there listening and salute to everybody listening who mom is super dope like ours is. So shout out to
Facts.
that.
Happy belated Mother's Day to you all.
Absolutely, man. Listen, we got an action-packed episode coming up today. David Banner had some very interesting things to say about the culture as it relates to streaming platforms on his latest visit to Drink Champs. A rapper canceled their concert because they had 10 tickets sold in multiple locations. We're going to tell you who that was. And of course, we got to have a trial update with this Diddy shit because it is just getting warmed up. But first,
Hmm.
Andre 3000, fresh off the Met Gala steps, drops a brand new album. Sound of air horns. Sound, sound, bam, 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 bam. New Andre 3000, guys, the one you've been looking for. This time, it's a all piano instrumental album. Of course, he dropped the Flute Project a year and some change ago. This time, it's pianos. My question to you: are you taking Andre 3000 seriously still? Do we need to take him out of the GOAT conversation? Does this move his legacy any way or the other?
We can't erase what he's done to rap.
Can we not?
We can't erase that. Like that stuff he's done with Outkast, all those guest feature verses that have made him the person he is. You can't erase that. But that being said, he is trolling us at this point. It's all a troll. And I say that to say, yeah, as an artist, feel free to have your artistic range shown and do the things that you want to do creatively. That's fine. But to know what people are looking for and to continue to play instruments, Elliot was saying this, and usually I think he hating, but he kind of spot on with this, bro. You're not even good at this shit.
Bingo.
Like these, like you're not good at playing the flute or the piano, but you're still putting these albums out, and you know it's going to trend because you know that people are waiting on an album from you. It's partly our fault as fans too, because we're letting them do it. We still talk about it. It's a lead topic on our show. We still react to it and do this, that, and the third, and talk about them on the hip hop site. So I guess from one standpoint, he looking at it like, well, if I ain't got a rap and y'all gonna talk about me, I might as well do these weird things that I love, even though I'm not really good at them, and talk about it. So, do we need to retire him from the GO conversation? I don't think that we could do that. His body of work is way too established in order for us to just try and delete him from the GO conversation. But please, Andre, stop trolling us. Please stop.
Man, here's the one thing that will save this from being a joke. If he drops, shout out to my guy Jet because he came up with this. If he drops a drum, let's say he drops like an instrumental drum album,
Hmm.
and you layer the
Mm.
pianos on top of the drum album, and you layer the flute album on top of that, and then he drops some bars on top of that, like that was his whole thing. He was putting it together. That's the
Mm.
only thing that would save this. That
How
would
long
be
that shit gonna
cold.
take? That would be cold, but how long is that shit gonna take?
If somehow he was able to make that work, that would be fire and like creative. Again, he dropped the flute album in hip hop's 50th year, which was almost disrespectful, honestly. That really made me think he was trolling. Like you said, he wasn't even that good. He went on tour with that shit. People was falling asleep.
That's
And maybe that
funny.
was the point of the of the live show. I don't know. I would doubt seriously that he does a live show with this piano shit because it's not getting anywhere as near as many looks as the flute album did. So people are already over the shuck. But if some reason you're still into it, you can check it out. Seven Piano Sketches is the name of it. I tried to tap in, but like you said, man, nigga not even nice with it, bro. Like I fuck with the piano heavy. I done took piano lessons. I took it in class. I love a motherfucker get busy on the piano. That shit sound good as hell. Shout out to John Legend, Alicia Keys, and everybody else. This nigga right here, it sound like me. He sound like me during my piano lesson. Like, bro, this ain't it. I'm there's nothing I can do with this. There's no scenario I can play it. That's why the only saving grace is if this is some type of performative act where he can layer this on top of the other ones to make a project. That will save it. Outside of that, this is super duper forgettable.
That's part of why we keep getting away. He keep getting away with it too, though. Like he
How
keep
so?
getting away with this shit because we keep trying to give him an out, thinking that one day the bars are gonna come, and they not. They not coming,
They're
bro.
not. They
Pause.
not.
The bars just will not. They will not arrive. He gonna be able to continue to get this off because we know how well he can rap and how much we want him to rap and put out that first and only solo rap album. So I, he should really just change his name when he do this. Like go under another moniker. That would be a lot better.
Mm.
Like then we wouldn't think he was trolling us. But I think he really should change his name when he does this.
That now that would make sense. Come up with some
Yeah,
alias, bro.
yeah, like
Like Music Soul Child did with the hustle when he tried to rap.
yeah, that's something like that,
That's
bro.
how you
Just
separate
don't.
from the
Yeah,
bullshit.
let us know we don't even gotta listen to it. Like let me know like it's under such and such, man. Like yeah, you ain't even gotta check this out because ain't gonna be no rap on that. But he do keep telling us too he's not finna rap. And
That's
we
true.
keep thinking that he fooling and trolling with that too. So it's
He
just I mean when you're so good at something, people do just yearn for it. So I can understand the public's, want for it, but still, bro, stop trolling us.
he got to drop the drum album and then drop the acapella album, and then somebody got to
Mm.
stack all four and be
Mesh
like,
all
"Oh
together.
shit, that's how
Yeah.
you." That'll
I
be
would
like a
put him
little
in
scavenger hunt. That'll be hard.
I will put him in a go, re-enter him into a go conversation, to be honest with you. Nigga was thoughtful enough to do that. I ain't gonna just do a regular rap album. I'm
That'll
gonna
be
do it in pieces. That'd be some cold shit right there.
that'll be cool. That'll be some memento
Jeez.
plot
Facts.
twist shit.
It would be. And still ripping it on there too.
That's what I'm saying.
That'd be cold.
Then when you
That'd
layer
be
all that shit and come
super
together, like it makes
cold.
sense. Like,
Right. It
oh
all
shit.
sound better now. He's like, oh shit, this nigga was killing it all along. That would be fire.
That'd be hard as fuck.
Facts. Mm. That's a good idea, whoever said that. Shout out to
Shout
your
out to my
man.
guy. I can't even take credit for it. My man said that. I was
Yeah.
like, damn.
Yeah, that would be
Right.
fire. All right. Speaking of fire,
Yeah.
Step Brothers 4, Don Troop, who is from Memphis, and Starlito, who is from Nashville. Seen a lot of confusion about
I did
that.
too.
Like, yeah, Lito is from Nashville, proudly so. Shout out to our brother. They dropped Step Brothers 4, Step Brothers Forever, I think it's
For
called,
life.
right? Alive, excuse me. AB,
Talk to me.
listening to this album, tell me, are Don Troop and Lito still a dynamic duo?
Man, I've been spending this all weekend. And we're recording this on a Tuesday, so go ahead and add Monday and Tuesday in there too. This been in rotation strong. I'm super excited for them and the looks that they're getting. I seen them on a mean promo run, well deserved, really good interviews on Beehive. DJ Smalls, I seen him up in the title offices, up at goddamn it, iHeart. They've been making the rounds, thankfully so. Even my homeboy, who's not familiar, but he loves wrestling, sent me the Royal Rumble video. Like, oh, did you see that? He didn't even know that the niggas was from. I'm like, bro, Lito from the city. You're like, oh
Yeah,
shit, he is. I'm like, yes, nigga. Like, what the fuck? So it's like, it's cool to see that. It feels like there's more energy around it this go round, and it's the perfect timing to drop some fire with that energy. You know what I'm saying? It
facts.
sucks when you have the energy and the wave, and then the product come out. And it's like, eh.
Mhm.
This is not the case, thankfully. But I'm gonna tell you why they still work together, work well together. They have great chemistry, number one. And number two, their concept songs have replay value. That is not
Yes,
easy to do. Like there's been
facts.
100 concept songs that Joyner Lucas has done, Nas has done, other people have Eminem has done that you listen to once and be like, oh, okay, that was cool. And there's no need to play it again. When I
Facts.
listen to this, I'm running back that Michelangelo and Bugs.
Michelangelo and Bubs, a Tubi
The
movie.
Tubi movie, that shit is fire.
Fire.
I'm running back Origins. That's another concept record. I'm running back the Royal Rumble is a concept song with the different wrestling themes and theme music. That is what makes this project and them as a duo work, in my opinion. On top of obviously they're talented and skilled and all that shit. But making the concept songs have replay value is a tricky thing to do, and they found a way to pull it off, and it all come together on this. The project is fire. I'm not even gonna hold you.
These boys' chemistry is through the absolute roof. They've got this may be the best project, and that's usually it don't work that way. Usually your
Nope.
first shit better, or your second shit better, but this shit right here, nigga,
It's tough.
I like you. I have been banging this since Friday.
Nope.
That Schadenfreude #4.
Banging.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Michelangelo and Bugs, like you said,
Still
that
lost.
that still lost. That piece, that Butterfly Flex and Origins was my favorite song yesterday, but
Fire.
today is Royal Rumble
Yep.
because them niggas was ripping that Royal Rumble.
Yeah. If you're a wrestling fan, you
And
have to play that immediately.
they were going in.
Yeah.
And they cold how they can say they said it on the album like Styles Kiss and Jada, like how they can weave in and out of each other rhymes like they damn near know what each other gonna say.
Yeah.
This shit is fire, bro. I want to see a video for Origins. I wish they had some old footage or something that would be fire. And
Oh, they do.
they two rappers who can be really transparent about their lives and not be trying to put on
Yeah.
and that be the reason that people fuck with him. Like Lito ain't missed at all lately. Don
Yeah. Nah.
Tripp has dropped a
Don Tripp been
ton of
cooking.
music.
Yeah.
He's been cooking as well. But again, I think the thing that makes both of them stand out and work so well together, another point added to yours is it's so transparent and it ain't old nigga music because you could be young and get something from this too because they still tapping into what's going on, but
Yeah.
it's from an older perspective. Like some of the shit that Lito said and Don Tripp saying, even their origin stories when Don Tripp was like, "This nigga got me paid for my first feature. I needed that. He
Facts.
didn't even know I needed that."
Yeah.
Like this shit is fire. Great fucking album. I love it. Yes, they are still a dynamic duo. I couldn't ask for nothing better. I didn't know Don Tripp had 8 kids though.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, yeah.
Eight.
Let me not say I knew he had eight. I knew he had a
I knew he had
roster.
a lot. I didn't know he
Yeah, for
had
sure.
eight.
That's a
Eight
lot.
kids. Jeez, I see why he rap like that now.
Hey, he rapping like the rent dude. He
Yeah,
been
I
killing shit
see
lately
why he
though.
rap like that. He have too. It's surprising too to put out that much product and all be good. Like if you fuck with Don Tripp, you know what you tuning into. You can't be tuning in like you finna think you listening to Gunna or
Right.
the Baby or something like that. If you know what you getting into, or just a real ass nigga that raps, oh man, you was pleased every time you dropped the
Yeah.
product.
No, for sure.
So
He ain't
yeah,
let you down.
at
Shout out
all.
to them, man. I'm glad to see the momentum. It's crazy. I'm glad to see it getting a lot. I seen Joe Budden and them talking about it.
Yeah, Ice played it as a sleeper.
That's fire. That
Yeah.
love that. Shout out to him. I didn't know
Hmm.
he was up on game like that. Salute to him.
Yeah. Facts.
And even shout out to Lito. Lito hit me up. They had a listening party down here about a week or
Hmm.
two early at Nobu, and it was he hit me about it, and it was the same night I had to go to Detroit for the game. I was like, man, god
Mm.
damn.
Damn.
But that'd have been cool. So they making the right plays, getting the right energy around it. Salute to them, man. Tap into Step Brothers for Life if y'all are not familiar. If you are familiar, let us know what y'all favorite joint off of it is.
Facts.
Next up, man, there is a post going around. It's going viral. It's an
Mm.
old post of R. Kelly talking about Best of Both Worlds. And he
Hmm.
said the original artist that was supposed to be on there was him and Tupac, instead of course, what ended up to be him and Jay-Z. He wrote I Wish with Tupac in mind, and they were going to collab on a full project. Obviously, we know what happened with Pac. He links up with Jay, and the rest is history. In your honest opinion, if you could go back in time, would you rather have gotten that R. Kelly and Pac album or been satisfied with what we got with the Jay and R. Kelly?
Is that I wish.
That's
It
that
says to do
shit
it
too.
all.
Off that
Man,
TP2.com.
if Pac had have been on that, bro, oh my God. Woo-hoo. Even though arguably my favorite Jay-Z song is the Jay-Z song with R. Kelly, that's A alike, B alike. We can't vibe no more because we don't see it like your mom's got it twisted. She think Hove changed. Nope. Hove still here like Rogaine.
Rogan, yeah.
Even though that's one of my favorite Jay-Z songs, I would have rather heard that R. Kelly and Pac, because who knows what they would have did, and we know how well Pac do with the R&B twist. Not saying that Jay don't, but that Best of Both World album, to me, songs that you can listen to now don't really have that many. I think that Pac and R. Kelly would have made a more timeless piece of
Mhm.
music. You know what I'm saying? Like it would have been more like I could still put this on today and listen to the whole thing. So yeah,
Mhm.
I think that would have been fire. I would have give me R. Kelly and Pac. What you got?
I'm not gonna lie. That would to not have this and have the R. Kelly and Pac means that I would never have heard It Ain't Personal. And I don't know if I can go
Mm,
on. I don't know if I can go through life without never having heard that
Jesus,
song. I'm not
that's
I
true.
ain't gonna J verse on that.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
if
one.
I got that in him. I ain't gonna lie.
He don't.
I fuck with
That
Pac
right there.
strong.
He ain't got that right there.
I don't know if he got
That's
that
a
right.
that's a timeless verse right there. But you might have got like 4 or 5 of those too, though, from Pac and R. Kelly. If they didn't try to just do no dance shit like
They might have done tossed
Casey
it up
and
part two and
JoJo.
shit. I don't
Yeah,
want to hear
yeah,
that
it might
shit.
have been some of that on there, but it wouldn't have been no it ain't part. But I wish
Oh,
probably
that
could have
I
got
wish would have
close
been
though.
stupid.
If Pac had have been on that,
Yeah, that'd have been
man, come
crazy.
on, bro, that would
That
have been different, different.
I I will say I disagree. I think this held up pretty decently. You know what I'm saying? There's I can understand some of these got are time capsule beats. Like they're definitely early 2000s track
Facts.
masters, and that sound is long gone. I get it. But I fuck with this, especially that intro.
Oh
Jay
man,
R.
welcome to
Kelly
the
was
best
ripping
of
that
both
too.
worlds. He sure was. He
I don't
sure was.
Pac would have been dope to hear. I would love to hear that. I wish, but a full project, I think I would have fucked with this a little bit more. The J,
Hmm.
give me the J
The
and
J joint.
yeah, give me the J and R, just a smidge. It's very intriguing though, and it would have worked. I have no doubt it would have worked though, no
Right, because
doubt.
both of them, a bit of they bags too.
Whew.
So yeah, that's a fact.
What if that
All
shit
right,
sitting on somebody's hard drive somewhere, man?
man, they had like 6 songs already done. I wonder, Suge Knight gonna come out and say something about this. He gonna
Of
have to.
course.
You know we gonna hear from Suge about this. All the more reason why Suge should write a book. Next, before we get into these wins and losses, our man's David Banner was on Drink Champs, and he was talking about how the culture bowed out to streaming platforms and why hip hop is the way it is now. My question to you, AB, when he compared hip hop to
Yep.
the movies and them going on strikes about them streaming movies, do you think that's a fair comparison to hip hop?
Yeah, he said he basically was saying that him, T.I., and it was one more person that he said tried to tell people not to bite into that streaming shit. I think it might have been Snoop. They were vocal about streaming platforms being a detriment to music, period, but more specifically hip hop. Of course, if y'all know how streaming goes, instead of paying 9.99 for a CD, niggas paying 9.99 a month to have access to
Facts.
everything.
Every
And
CD
of
they want.
anything they want. Of course, we know the artists get 0.00001% off of every spin. It's crazy. And he was saying that how that has been one of the determining factors in killing music and again hip hop in general, and that we should have been more of a united front against streaming. Now, to do what exactly, I'm not sure, but we should have been more of united in a stand. I don't think it's the same as film. I thought film had like a union of some sort,
They
which
do.
is
They got the
where
SAG.
the boycotts and shit came from.
Facts. Yep.
Yeah, hip hop doesn't have a union, not that I'm
Hmm.
aware of. I know Nori's been talking about that shit forever and a day, but that doesn't exist. So I'm not exactly sure what he had in mind. I haven't watched the full interview too. So maybe he does dive into that in there. I refuse to listen to a full Drink Champs, even though I would really love to hear Banner on this topic more in depth. He's gonna have to go on another platform for me, but I don't know what the alternative would be. And not to say that it doesn't exist, I just don't compute it. This is out of my league. I would love for him to explain that. And if he did, somebody let me know in the comments, or you can let me know if you can stomach this damn Drink Champs interview. If he did touch on that, but I can't, it's hard to compare it to movies when they have a union and things in place to organize and mobilize versus hip hop, which doesn't.
Facts. David Mantle had been talking about getting a union for a while too, but one of the
No, I think
problems with that,
Swiss was talking, somebody else was
Swiss,
talking
David
about it.
Mantle, like you said, T.I., Nori for a long
Okay.
time, they try to paint him as crazy when he was doing it like it was impossible, and I think it is. Like you can figure out a way to do this, and the fact that they haven't, it's their fault. It's our fault. It's the culture's fault that a union hasn't been formed because we see that they can do it. You have an actors union, you have a writers union, you got a directors union, like all of them in the entertainment business have been able,
Even sports, collective
even
bargaining
sports, like you said,
agreements,
collective
and
bargaining agreements in
yo,
these unions. So it's crazy that they haven't been able to figure that out. Even the powers that be probably don't want that to happen. It falls more on the artists, and then that's where you get where they can't organize together. Um, and the thing too, and David Banner tried to do this with music. we've gotten so used to getting something tangible. With movies, you can just go to a movies and you appreciate that experience. If I can hear the same thing on streaming, like what you just said, then it's cool. I'm just gonna stream it. We're used to having a CD, and now I ain't got to buy the CD, and I still get it for the same price, like you said.
Yeah.
It don't incentivize the fans that much to care about what you're even saying either. However, people that do still move product, they have physical products. David Banner tried that. He just wasn't able to gather up enough care around it. Like he was selling the black flag and he
Yeah.
was doing that whole movement. But you still have people who have record sales because they have merch or they have vinyls or they have the different things to it. What hip hop did not do was find a more creative way to move that product versus the streaming sites just saying, okay, we're going to take it and give it to everybody for this one low price. They
Mhm.
could have, if they couldn't put a union together, there could have been something that they did band together to do as to where the fans wouldn't feel like the streaming thing was a better alternative. Like if you
Mhm.
buying stuff, you still get something physical. We've associated music with the physical thing for so long, and like again, when you can get it for all for one price, of course people gonna transform over. So David Guetta has a point, but they didn't have the leverage to do it without a union, which he was trying to form. So I get his frustration.
He referenced the album The God Box, which he
Yeah,
tried to
that's what I was
do.
talking about.
He tried to do independently
Hmm.
in 2017, and he did do direct to consumer. Um, I mean, it's on streaming sites if I'm not mistaken. But he also did. He had collectibles and vinyls and
Hmm.
CDs and the whole nine. The God Box came out in 2017. If you go on the website right now for David Banner Shop, you can still buy the box set of the God Box. It
How
is
much
still
is?
available.
How much is?
It's $250. It comes
Ooh.
with the CD, a Black Friday DVD, a Hidden Colors DVD, a
Hmm.
Before the Box mixtape, a chopped and screwed version of the God Box, and of course that flag, a T-shirt, some pins, some stickers, and a wristband. And it's
That
in a
ain't bad.
decent packaging. It's a nice package. Like pause.
Yeah.
It's like you open the box. It's got like the drawing and shit. It's clean. It's very well put
Yeah.
together. My point is there's a full size run of this box right now if you want it, and we are almost 10 years removed from this. This album was some slaw, and I fuck with David Banner. This album was trash, bro. You met him in person and told him you wasn't really fucking with the music, respectfully, because we both fuck with him.
Facts.
So I don't know how much of his frustration is from with this God Box dropping and being independent and people didn't really fuck with it. I hate to break it to you, bro. The product wasn't good. Like, let's
That's true.
start there. The music has to hit. You got to have some bangers on here. I fuck with his first two or three projects. This was the wrong. We just talked about Starlito and them investing in rollouts and media press runs and shit. If that shit would have sounded like the God Box, we wouldn't be talking about it right now,
That's
dude.
true.
My man's wouldn't have sent me the video like, yo, this is dope. Did you see this? It would have been no. Nobody sent me God Box videos, bro. Like it just wasn't. He picked the wrong project to do this with.
I don't even think I ever heard God
It's some
Box, if I'm being honest
slaw.
with
And
you.
I
Yeah,
swear, I fuck with David Banner. That Mississippi album is fire. The second one is dope. Hell, the certified, the third one is dope. And the fact that I'm naming them off the dome, that I fuck with them. This was some slaw. He
yeah,
just
I ain't
picked the
even
wrong
heard
one,
this.
bro.
I ain't never heard. I think it's because you told me it was some slaw. Plus, I ain't never been musically a David Banner fan. I
That's
do
true.
fuck with him heavy,
Facts.
from like just a speaking standpoint and his perspectives on thing. I love to hear those. I could listen to him talk all day. But yeah, if the music, that's the other thing about it too. Like the music gotta hold up, and that's part of the things with streaming now. People just are. You can go buy albums in iTunes. You can do that. Like that's still
True.
a thing, and you can own that album in your phone forever. But music don't, and that's music don't sit like that no more.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you'll listen to something for a day or two, unless it's something like that Step Brothers, and you really fucking with it.
Yeah, no, sure.
After it's over. Like I listen to it again in 6 months. We used to ride and listen to the same shit for 6 months.
Facts.
So yeah,
Yeah, but
the
I,
music got a lot to do with it.
I will say this though. I didn't like the tone sounded as if he was defeated though. And
Oh, he is.
usually
You could tell he didn't because think about the last time you heard from him.
that's true.
He
He
used to
he
be out here
sound
on his
fed up.
soapbox.
He sound defeated. And I don't like that. I don't like that energy because David Banner is usually very proud. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? He's usually talking with excitement. He's super successful, so he know what he's doing. He know what he's talking about. But I don't like that. There's no, and I don't know if Nori pushed the conversation forward. But the very next question need to be, well, what do niggas need to do now? Because streaming is
facts.
here, cool, but we're not gonna let that beat the game. So what's the next move then? And he may be jaded, like nigga, I tried to tell y'all about streaming, and now y'all want to add. He may be on that type of time, which I understand. But I would love to know, okay, maybe what's next? We got hindsight is 2020. People have seen now. So maybe people will be more open and receptive. I don't know.
Facts. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Next up, man, Bobby Schmurda, guys. He's having a rough go of it since he got out. Since he's been a free man for the last few years. He had a tour scheduled. Unfortunately for him, the tour is now canceled due to low ticket sales. Now, he's not the first artist for this to happen to, but what makes this unique is that reports are saying some of these locations only had 10 tickets sold. Now, there's some influencers, I ain't gonna say influencers, but there's executives out there, Ray Daniels specifically, that said festivals have ruined the live show and they are more to blame for this than anything else. What says you? What is the reason behind the season of Bobby Schmurda only selling 10 tickets at multiple locations?
He's not good. Like he's just not good enough to sell out any locations. And I disagree with Ray Daniels in the sense that festivals have ruined thing in the sense of like, first of all, has he released any music?
Ah, that's a good
Like
question. I'll
who
look it up.
knows? I ain't even heard about releasing any music, and that goes into my second point. There are too much analytics out there nowadays for you to say I only sold 10 tickets in a location. I can tell you where my fans are. I can tour in those places where I get the most streaming numbers. That prevents me from having to do a place that only sold 10 tickets. You can see if they listening to this shit in upstate New York and what states and what cities they listen to in upstate New York, I'm gonna go there and it's probably gonna do well. Like we see acts all the time and wonder, hey, why they didn't come here? Why they didn't come to Atlanta? They don't have a market here. Like again, we can go to Step Brothers. They go where they, like you said, your homie didn't know nothing about them. But
Yep.
they do go and they sell out shows
Yep.
because they know the analytics. Stars are smart. Lito's a smart dude. Like he know them numbers and where they gonna go do well at
Facts.
in Arkansas, Alabama, or Texas or Louisiana. And they know they market. It might be some places where a lot of artists won't sell but 10 tickets. But guess what? They not going them places. They not getting that venue booked. It's not a part of the tour. So not only do I blame this on Bobby Schmurda just not being relevant, I also blame this on his team, who the people that he works with. They're not doing a good job of setting these things up because his name is big enough to where he could have went to about five, and maybe there's too many stops too. He could have went to 5 or 6 cities and had a successful tour and built on that. But nah, you trying to do too much, bro.
Yeah. His last project came out in 2022. It was called Bod Boy.
Yeah, so
9 tracks.
no. And I don't even know. I couldn't tell you a song off of that.
We are now in 2025. He has not had a
Yeah,
project in 3 years, and he has not had a relevant project in over 10.
yeah. Just
That is the reason why you're selling 10 tickets per city. There should not be a Bobby Schmurder tour, period. There just shouldn't be. Maybe a Bobby Schmurder reality show, maybe some type of content like that, maybe a Bobby Schmurder stream. Go to DDG route, dude. Like you're gonna have to pivot. No one gives a shit about a Bobby Schmurder song right now. He dropped a single a couple of months ago. Nobody gave a shit.
facts.
He went on Instagram to kind of give some clarity of what happened. Of course, the tour was called the Still Alive Tour. He said, man, he said, quote, we got a little mini tour coming up. Dates dropping soon. Be ready. So, like, to your point, what probably happened was these Wichita, Kansases and all of this shit that they booked and nobody showed up to, that's where they fucked up. They should have just
Facts.
kept it light, went to about 4 or 5 spaces and
Packed them out as best they could.
packed as many as they could. Now he went on to he blamed his manager and his booking agent for botching the rollout. The
As he
booking
should.
agent clapped back, nigga, and said, "Nigga, the tour is a wrap because your tickets were trash." That's where the
Hmm.
narrative of 10 tickets per city came from. The booking manager said it. This is simple, bro. He doesn't have the material. This is
Yeah.
easy. Like, why would how I'm surprised 10 people bought fucking tickets, bro. What are we
Yeah.
talking about?
Surprised me to put that exactly. Like you said, though, the reality show is something that could work. A stream is something that could work. Because as far as I remember, he has personality. Those
He
are things that
does.
he could go do, and people could clips and sit. The clip world that we live in now, you know that that can work. But nah, bro,
Bingo.
like nobody ain't going to concert to hear you perform computers.
Bro, I mean, you gonna do hot nigga and computers 3 and 4 times, bro? Gas costs too much. Food costs too much. Nigga, the last time he was
Facts.
hot, motherfucking McDonald's is tripled they price. Nobody's going, fam. People are stingy with their bread now. You got to be putting on a fucking Beyonce show to get niggas outside, dude. You got to
Facts.
have a Kendrick year to get niggas outside. Like you, it's got to be special. Like
Yeah.
you
You
can't
can't
just be
drop a
Bobby
single
Schmurda
three
and I'm
months ago.
famous.
Nah.
Like no, bro.
Everybody famous nowadays, niggas. It's Twitter people more famous than you nowadays, my guy.
Facts, and
And
they ain't
streamers
selling
to your
shit.
point. Yeah. Jeez.
That's
Uh,
nuts. 10 tickets is
it
crazy
is.
though.
Facts. Next up, Fat Joe. We talked about his new podcast with Jada Kiss, Joe and Jada. He said, Fat Joe, he says that there is no West Coast artist that has ever dominated like Kendrick Lamar. He includes Tupac, Snoop, and Dre in this. My question to you, AB, is this true?
I think he's saying, and I'm reading what he said. He's speaking in like a year. He's saying he had a year. No West Coast artist has had a year like this, putting a little bit of a timetable to it.
Right.
That may be fair. He's had a lot. Well, no, look, he's the first rapper to headline a Super Bowl by himself. Well, I mean, technically not by himself, but he the first solo rapper to
Yeah.
do a Super Bowl. That's fucking huge, obviously.
Facts.
He won a Grammy off a diss record. That's fucking huge, obviously. He's a part of the biggest rap beef of all time. That's fucking huge. So yeah, he might be on to something. Pac was the shit. Snoop was the shit. Obviously, he came out the gate in 93, had a monster year with the case. But those accolades we just named off the biggest in terms of a beef, pause, and the first in terms of the Super Bowl. Like, that's tough to top, dude. I'm not even gonna hold you. So I understand why he would say that. I usually look at Fat Joe as somebody that's trying to put the BP gas on all the stories and shit. But he might be on to something with this. Like those guys had runs. Pac obviously had a big run, even though you could argue 96 Pac was insane, but it was cut short because he got killed. So it's I'd say Kendrick. That's a fair thing to say. At first I was like, come on now, but he might be on to something with that.
The Super Bowl does kind of push it over the top. The
That's
Snoop in
huge, bro.
'93. Snoop in '93 was, but that's almost an asterisk too because it's really just now people are just now getting comfortable with rap being the Super Bowl halftime. Like
Bingo.
Kendrick couldn't have done that in those years, regardless of how big any of those songs were. Like
Facts.
this is the first time they've been comfortable doing that. Snoop in '93 was different. Some of our listeners may not be familiar with it, and it was because he had that case going on. So he was
Yep.
more like people knew his name. It wasn't just necessarily for music. To Fat Joe's point, Kendrick did it all from music, but Fat Joe, I mean, excuse me, but Snoop definitely was a household name. More people know who Snoop was in '93 than know who Kendrick is, maybe. Like it's probably
Ooh.
people that looked at the Super Bowl and it was like, who is this? Like out of
Oh,
the
I see what
touch
you're
white
saying.
people. Yeah, like people, everybody knew who Snoop was because he was being covered for that murder trial. And I maybe would argue Pac was even more popular too. But keeping it what Fat Joe said from a musical standpoint, he's right about Kendrick. But I don't know if Kendrick this year he was more popular than Pac in '96 or Snoop in '93
You got to add social media too, though, man.
and social media.
Social media is the ultimate decider, bro. Like that's.
Facts.
I understand what you're saying. They may not have known Kendrick before the Super Bowl, but they know who he is now. So, and it was the most watched. It's like that was to me. That's the tie. If there was a tie, that's the tiebreaker. It doesn't
Yeah,
get much a bigger platform than that unless you're talking fucking world. At least in sports,
yeah, that's
um,
true.
that's major. Before we get to these wins and these losses, man, quick Diddy trial update. Of course, it's on and rolling. Cassie took the stand. I thought she was going to plead the fifth. She in fact did not plead the fifth.
Hmm.
She got up there and told all some wild shit. Of course. Let me see. Her testimony is expected to last the entire week. Again, this is Tuesday when we're recording this. I think they're going to cross-examine her on Wednesday. That could get interesting. I heard that she's on there talking about some of the things that he had her do on some like sexual shit, but and some also some like domestic violence shit. But that's not what he's on trial for. He's on trial for sex trafficking,
Hmm.
and so and like racketeering, conspiracy, and this, that, and the third. So, in your opinion, how damaging is the testimony from Cassie as it relates to what he's being charged with?
I want to be very clear. I don't agree or like condoning the stuff that Puff does. He's definitely guilty of being a domestic abuser.
We saw the video on that shit.
Yeah, we saw the video on that, but again, you said something. He's not on trial for that though.
Right.
That's not what they trying him for. And from what I read, the transcripts, what he's guilty of and what the state or the feds are suggesting is just being a freak ass nigga.
Basically,
Like it was some wild shit in there. Like
facts.
yes, but I didn't hear them prove any points about. It may come tomorrow, but I didn't hear
True.
them proving any points about racketeering or the other stuff that he's on trial for. So it's going to get interesting in the sense of I've read stuff today from court analysts and listened to these podcasts. They like the defense won today.
Mm,
They won because the case isn't being proved. What's being proved is Diddy a nasty ass nigga, but we knew that. We
facts.
knew he was a nasty ass nigga, but he ain't on trial for being a nasty ass nigga. So he has a really good lawyer, and if that lawyer is gonna be able to like just paint the picture of like, look, man, y'all just green. He ain't. He get down, and she was getting down with him when they was getting down. She just was domestically abused, but I don't know, man. I haven't heard them proving any other stuff, and I ain't saying that Puff is not guilty of anything. I from what I heard, I didn't hear them prove it.
That's the tricky part. Will the jury be able to separate like the disdain for him? I'm sure they're gonna show the hotel clip. Who else knows what else they pull out? Like you're gonna have to be like, hey, he's guilty of being a domestic abuser, yes, but he didn't do this other shit. So go ahead and go ahead and plead innocent. It's like
Hmm.
that's a tricky because you're at the jury is human, right?
Facts.
So especially if there's ladies in that motherfucker or people with kids or people, or I'm saying with daughters or sisters or married motherfuckers, you're asking them, you're gonna show them this, be guilty of that, but that ain't what he on trial for. Though separate that from this, and you're trusting that that is the strategy. I get it, but man, people human, bro. Like they them lines get blurred, bro. They see a
Oh,
nigga
you think that
and
they'll
they
see
sick.
that and they'll think he guilty because of the other stuff?
I, they'll be like, if he's capable of that, then this ain't too far off.
Can they convince 12 people to do that though? That's the
That's the
thing.
question.
It might be some nasty ass nigga in that jury. It's like, I don't
True.
see nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? That might be the case too. And I was listening to a podcast today. It's called Rap Trial, I think, by ABC News. They covering it every other day.
Yeah, yeah. I'm listening to that too.
And they was talking about the defense
Bad
opening
rap.
remarks. Yeah, bad rap. And they were talking about the defense opening remarks. And the defense attorney, she said, like, is Puff a bad dude? Yes.
Yep.
Like, does he do things differently from y'all and live a different life? Absolutely. Is he a domestic abuser? He is. But that ain't what we talking about here.
It's
What
hard
we
to show
talking about,
sympathy for a nigga when you lead with that, though. It's gonna be
it is, but it makes it clear too. It make it clear, like, listen, man, y'all understand you got to separate this from that. And what we talking about and what they accusing him
true.
of, that's one thing. And the shit that he did, that might be another thing to some people, man. I
If you on
don't know,
trial and your
man.
lawyer come to you and that's the defense, are you confident in that?
If I feel like it'll get me off.
Do you feel
Yeah.
like that could get you off? Pause.
I do
Okay,
think
okay.
it'll make one or two people like, because remember, all you need is a reasonable doubt.
I got you.
And when they explain, I wish they had talked about the prosecution explaining these charges and what he like actually is charging because they did it on their podcast and they did a good job.
That's
And the
hard.
dude that's hosting that podcast said he was like, man, as a defense attorney, it's gonna be hard to prove that if you the feds. It's gonna be
Yeah.
real hard to prove those things about Puff. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out, man. Everybody is talking about this case. I was at work, motherfuckers was talking about this shit is everywhere. My mom was asking me about it. Like this shit crazy.
Nah, this is a crazy situation. Probably the biggest trial of the year.
Yeah.
Um, Let us know, man, what y'all think about the Diddy trial update. Shit getting crazy. We know the. Listen, man, I'm not gonna kink shame because I'm a perv. I'm the last nigga to be talking about another nigga perv shit. But this some wild shit coming in here, talked about in these wasn't names.
That nigga Puff was some shit. I can't believe he had Cassie doing some of that shit, bro.
Cassie bad too. Lord have
That's what
mercy,
I'm
she bad.
saying. Like, to have her doing that, that's insane. That
Woo.
nigga, that's a sick nigga. That's a
Man,
sick Negro.
that nigga, she was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all
Um,
want to read some of the details, y'all feel free, man. We
yeah,
ain't gonna get
knock
into it.
yourself out.
Jesus Christ.
Hitting these wins or losses, man. Rob 49, fresh off of his hit, what the hell that he got going on right now, was in the club performing, and while in the club, his homeboy was getting a haircut. This is a win or loss, getting a haircut in the club while your man's is performing.
This is a loss, man. Like I could see where you could try to call it a flex, and I could see how this probably played out too. He probably had it scheduled. He had to find somebody. He found a barber through somebody. He said, "Pull up to the club. We can do it right here." The barber gets promotion. That's good for him, but
Facts.
this lame. I guess I'm too old to get this, bro. This lame to me. I want my haircut before I go to the club if I'm going. I don't want it in the club,
I
nigga.
don't
Cut
want
it
to get a
in,
haircut in the club. Nigga can't even see. Nigga
right. Cut it
barely
in the
see.
green room or something. Like I'd be scared a nigga bump into his arm or something, fuck up my edge up. Like nigga, get out of here.
Yeah, this is a L, but they young.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a flip. It's a W because they young. Over 30,
Mm.
you can't get this off.
No, no, you
I ain't
can't
gonna
do
lie.
that at
But you
all.
young, college age, you can get this off, and it's
And
a
think it's
flex for
cool.
that.
Yeah,
But
you can get it off and think it's cool.
yeah, as an adult, no, it was
No,
super good. Next up, man, ASAP Rocky. He's got a brand new movie coming out with Denzel Washington, directed by Spike Lee. He was asked about Denzel Washington's music selection on set, and he said Denzel mostly listens to Memphis rap.
that's crazy.
W or L.
That's a W for Memphis. Like, cause you wouldn't have think like you see Denzel pull up to the set banging Project Pat.
That'll be
Like that would be
crazy.
hilarious. And word for word with it, well, I would cry laughing, man. Cause you do not expect it. I expect that nigga to be listening to jazz or some shit. So
Facts.
to hear this, I love it. It's a W. I wish I knew what Memphis rap he was talking about too. I would love to know what that was.
He said this was actually more like current Memphis rap. He said Pooh
Oh, like
Shiesty,
Moneybag,
Moneybag
you know.
Yo.
Oh, that's even more funny.
That's him listening to Pooh Shiesty is insane. That's wild, bro. There's
You
no
see
way
Denzel
NLE
between
Chopper.
sets, word for word with the Pooh Shiesty in between sets. That'll be hilarious.
Man, listen. He said he started quoting
Damn,
NLE Chopper, dude.
that's crazy.
From his he said Denzel quoted lyrics from NLE Chopper's 2020 hit Walk 'em Down. I don't do drive-bys now, I walk 'em down.
That's funny as
This
hell.
nigga might be lying. This might be another New York nigga lying. I ain't gonna lie. He
Yeah,
might
it
be
sounds
adding the
like a nigga,
gas
nigga
on
lie.
this.
I gotta see this.
Oh, yeah, I gotta
I gotta
see
see
it.
this. Yeah, dude. I need to clip that. I need that clipped because you're talking about a viral moment. That Denzel want to go viral. He need to do that.
Man, listen. So that's crazy. Last one before we get out of here. I don't know if this is necessarily a win or a loss, but just a quick topic. Tory Lanez is
Mm,
recovering in jail after being stabbed, to quote, 14 times. While he's serving, of course, his 10-year sentence. 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Damn. They said both of his lungs collapsed and he was placed on a
damn,
breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own. He said he's in good spirits. Thankful to God that he is pulling through and that he is talking normally. That's crazy. That escalated quickly. Nigga just dropped an album. Nigga, big up and niggas in jail.
that's yeah, it's insane. I can't believe that he ain't in protective custody, but maybe they ain't got that in the pen where he at.
Good
Like maybe
question.
it's just a jail thing, but win or a loss is a little bit of both, man. As far as in the sense that he did make it.
He's still
So,
here.
but it was some people online just dancing on his grave.
I
Like
seen
I
that.
couldn't believe the response. Well, actually, I could because people
Yeah, you
hate him,
can.
but
Yeah.
damn, like I like motherfuckers hate him with a passion. Like some of the shit I saw, I was like, damn, they was wishing death on the nigga. So,
Yeah, that's nuts.
Tori, you fucked with the wrong one.
Yeah, man. Wild story though. We'll keep you updated on that. On Decker of the week, man, we're going to Spotify. Shout out to Sly. He said Charlemagne is known as a great executive in the podcast industry, but Joe Budden has a record of being a shitty network head. He pours money and time into his podcast. When it comes to other stuff on his network, he treats them the way the music industry treated him. So I think people won't sign to Joe because of how dirty he's done previous people on his network. Of course, on the previous podcast, we talked about the Joe and Jada pod and why they didn't go with a
Yeah,
network like a Black Effect or a Joe Budden network. And so, shout out to that insight from Sly, because definitely people have been disgruntled on the Joe Budden
yeah, that's a
podcast
fact.
network.
That is a fact. That is 100% a fact.
Also, shout out to A Wilkins 022. He said, "Damn, AB didn't know old boy is allegedly moving like Chicago inmate Robert Kelly. He got more problems coming his way than snitching allegations. That, of course, is referencing real Boston Richie. No, I did not know he was moving like R. Kelly. This was news to me. And you're right. If that is the case, he does have more problems coming his way. But that jacket is way worse than snitching in 2025.
Yeah, he got a weird. He tell you got a weird case.
Yeah, that is not a good place to be. Last one on YouTube, man. Shout out to @RapHabits9821. Please keep going. Don't mind if we do, man.
Appreciate your rap habits.
Absolutely, man. Give me something to put on, though. Or put me on to something, I should say.
I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I'm gonna mention it again. It's called Mobland. It's on Paramount Plus. Stars Pierce Bronson. He's like the leader of this little mob, these little feuding families. It's almost over there, so you can binge it pretty well and be satisfied with it. Plus, if you're familiar with the show, me and my guy Nikki Duce are doing reviews on it over on the Brains Per Second Patreon, so check that out. But it's a pretty good TV show. It's getting even better as each episode goes by, especially if you like those like gangster mob type shows. But Pierce Bronson playing a gangster, I had to get used to it. That's James Bond. But he's doing a pretty good job, man. So Mobland on Paramount, fire.
Yeah, my put on is a late put on. It's also on Paramount because I finally was able to get to it. But Landman with Billy Bob Thornton was flames. Please make sure y'all check that out if you're skipped it out like I did unintentionally. I just finally caught up to it, ran through it in about a week. Complete flame, snappy dialogue. That Taylor Sheridan work, you already know how he get busy.
Facts.
And I fuck
That's
with
a
Billy
good
Bob
show.
though, man. He funny as
He
hell.
bodied it. He bodied that show.
Dude is funny. Also coming out this week, brand new Snoop Dogg album just announced coming out Friday. You fuck with that?
I don't believe that. Is that the gospel album?
No, I don't think so.
No, I ain't fucking
I
with
hope
that.
not.
I think it's a gospel album.
Oh, hell no.
I ain't fucking with that at all. He said he
like
had
the
one
last
coming. The last gospel album?
The Snoop album, yeah, you was fucking with that.
I don't believe that. Not no
It's called
gospel
Is It a
album.
Crime?
Oh, I don't know. If it ain't gospel, I may listen to it, but nah, I ain't fucking with it.
Sexy Red is on there, so
So no, it's not a gospel album.
clearly not a gospel album. And he's gonna
What
be
if
on
Sexy
Breakfast.
Red was on there talking about church?
That shit would be wild. You know, Snoop called flack last time he was in the news for the Donald Trump thing, and he's on Breakfast Club this week. I'm sure they're gonna ask him about it. That should
Yeah, Charlamagne definitely gonna ask him about it.
get a very interesting response. So I'll tap in for that.
Thanks.
Anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, that's it, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us throughout the years. Continue to stay strong with us. We out.
Absolutely, man. Till the next time. Peace.
Peace.